All right, y'all. So this is the Google situation with my Gmail accounts. So, after the identity theft and stuff happened, the account takeovers, like I said, I didn't get my YouTube check in November. That was around the time where I still had my other channel, which is Vloggin Therapy. So coming to find, well, 4 months later, 5 months later, I still couldn't get into my account. So this is when I contacted the government. I did the FTC report. Like, you have to do a few reportings in order to, get your money back and all this stuff. And you have to prove it and all this stuff. So I was contacting the bank and they were like, well, you can't get your money back because it's been 3 months later. And I'm like, yes, I can get my money back. So it got to the point where, I owed them credit cards and all that stuff. And I stopped paying that shit. Because what happened was the person had access to the routing number, the account number. So, my friend was like, girl, don't even pay them bills no more. Because what's going to happen is that, you log in, customers, like I literally had people, they were calling to customer service, yo. It was that bad, man. And so, like I said, with the Gmail account where I would get my YouTube check from, yeah, I could no longer get into it. And so, like I said, I contacted Google. And I'm going to tell y'all something about Google. And I really hope YouTube, the people from Google is watching this show. Because I've contacted Google so many times. So you all know how you reset your password for account recovery. So you could type in your email address numerous times, and it's to where you can't get into it. And so basically, it got to the point where I did all the account recovery. It'll tell you to enter your password you last remembered. And it'll tell you to use the devices that you use to log into your account. It would ask you for your locations, where you use your computer at, your phone. It would ask you even questions about like the email subjects. Now that's for Outlook, where they ask you the email subjects, some of the last passwords, and they ask you like, what companies is linked to your email and all that crazy stuff. So basically with Google, I kept trying to reset it over and over and over again. So after a while, they have customer service to where you can actually, message them. But for the YouTube thing, I had to send them a message through this YouTube channel. And so they told me to go through the process of filling out a form about my YouTube account and what happened and all that stuff. So I'm literally telling them that my identity was stolen, my stuff was hacked. And it was kind of like, we don't have proof of it. We don't recognize it. And when you talk to Google, it's like automated messages or whatever until you start reporting it to where you actually talk to customer service. So it's kind of like another issue to where you tell them that you could show them proof, and then when you show them proof, it's kind of like it's a lie. Everything is a lie. There's nothing that they can help you with. And it gets to the point where you're like, yo, why should I have a Gmail account? Why should I have a Gmail account for getting emails when literally when you lose your account, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Then the phone numbers that was linked got disconnected except one of them. And I'm working on something with that. So, it's like you can reach out to Gmail, Google, and it's like they don't even care. They don't care. And so I started going on Twitter because somebody was like, go on Twitter, tag YouTube. And then that's what I was doing. I would tag YouTube and tell them, like, I can't get into my account. I need assistance. It's over and over and over again. So I had to make a Twitter account just to reach out to YouTube. And that didn't even work. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, okay, well, I reached out to YouTube and they didn't say nothing. Then it got to the point where I reached out to them another time on Twitter. Well, what is it? X. And so they finally responded and they said to send them a message. So I go to my new Gmail account and I do it. And it's kind of like nothing. Birds chirping, no response. So I'm like, okay, let me try to call Google. There's no way to call these people. Okay. Then when you have other like accounts on your Gmail account, it's like you can't get into those neither. So I end up reporting some of my accounts and some of them was shut down. And so when I say the account, it's like the Google business account, because you know what I'm saying? I had some business stuff going on. And so it's kind of like, okay, I got clients, customers, you know what I'm saying? I had an email list. And probably, and I honestly think that the people that were emailing me, probably the people that were sending me messages like through my website probably thought I was scamming because I couldn't get into them. Because I got one message from somebody saying they've been trying to reach out to me. Are you okay? Then I started having people find me from TikTok, Instagram, and stuff like that. And it was like, yo, what happened to your YouTube channel? I'm like, I don't want to discuss it. And so with Gmail, with Google, I feel like it's a problem. And Google needs to be addressed about this. If they could give me my channel back with me making this video, that would be great. So my problems with Google, my first problem with Google is actually trying to get your password and your email reset. I honestly feel like there needs to be a whole nother procedure on either talking to customer service directly through a phone call or finding another way to reach out through customer service without talking to these people from overseas. Or it's to where it needs to be, I feel like it needs to be more of a way to talk to Google besides trying to do account recovery, filling out the form for your YouTube channel, because it doesn't work. These people will not give you access to nothing. And so, you know, people was like, don't say what you're about to do next with YouTube and Google. Honestly, I feel like I need to, because at this point, it's like, you know, I done tried everything. I done tried to reach out to Google so many times. Personally, I filled out the form for the YouTube channel, a denial of that. I kept reaching out to you. I have a whole, like, literally emails talking to them from a different Gmail account about my issues. I got the whole paperwork. So they're like, why don't you try to sue Google? And I'm like, you know, maybe I should. And see, this is why people say you shouldn't talk about this. But at the end of the day, there's only but so much I could do. And this is why I feel like Google and YouTube need to watch this video, because it gets to the point where you're like, okay, well, if y'all can't reach out to me, if y'all can't respond to me, then why not make a video like this? And so basically, I tried to ask questions about monetization for this channel, and it's like they're telling me that you already have an account, and I'm like, okay, well, if I have another account which I've been reporting, help me get back into it. So, you know, I've been doing this Google reporting over and over and over again. So it got to the point where I reported Google to the Better Business Bureau. No response, okay. And now I reported them to the FTC, and I want them to watch this. I reported Google to the IC3, the FTC, the FCC. So it's getting to the point where what else do I do? And so, you know, and people say, yo, don't talk about this on YouTube. But honestly, I don't even care at this point, because they need to hear this stuff. You got so many people that get their accounts either to hijack, and it's like you can't get into them anyway. So it's kind of like you literally can't, you know what I'm saying, get into your emails with, you know what I'm saying, with companies that you have Gmail accounts with. It's crazy. So people is like, yo, you can do arbitration against Google, and yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I want them to watch this video. Like, literally, it's getting to that point to where they're not responding. They don't take you serious with this Gmail stuff. It's to where they think you're lying. It comes with a lot, you know, like I literally have, what do you call that stuff? You have it to where you have, they call it intellectual property, which I have one here. You know what I'm saying? It's to where it just gets to the point where it's like, yo, I don't even want to do YouTube no more because of everything that happened. So, you know, this is like my last strike with doing YouTube. Or they never proceeded to where they're taking it to my level. And I kind of feel like I shouldn't even have to do this. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not fair. It's not fair for you to be a content creator and literally not be able to get back into your channel, get back into your content. After you keep reporting stuff, it's kind of like they don't care, they won't listen. And so this is why I'm making this video. And I kind of feel like Google needs to have a whole nother way of accessing your account, your YouTube channel. Because if I get my YouTube channel back, I can tell all of my subscribers to come over here. And I would never make videos on that channel again. It was Vloggin Therapy. Like, I would never make any content on there. And so am I scared to make this video? Kind of, a little bit. Reason why, because, you know, YouTube try to shut you down, or Google try to shut you down, but where when somebody pretty much know enough information to get back into your stuff, that's pretty much part of the problem. Another problem with Google, it's mainly the communication with Google itself. And so being that my last step is to do 2 more things, and I'm going to keep fighting. If it takes me 5 years to get this shit back, I'm going to keep, you know, you have to be real consistent with complaining, reaching out over and over and over again. If you sign up for another YouTube channel, they do have the chat thing. But what's going to happen is that when you use another channel to reach out to Google, they're going to basically tell you that you need to log into your other account to reach out to Google. But if you can't get in there, what the hell are you supposed to do? So basically, I use this channel to reach out to Google, okay? Reached out to Google, same process, told them the whole story, okay? I did it 2 times. Nothing. I have all these emails talking to them back and forth. And it's kind of like I can't win with Google again. So, you know, sometimes you have to do different steps to get into Google. So, you know, if Google is watching this, please take note of this show, because I'm telling you, there's so many people telling me they can't get into their Gmail account. And so sometimes you have to make moves and get a whole new email platform and pay for it. It gets to the point where you might have to start paying for email. So when I made this new Gmail account, they're literally asking me for account verification. Like, it's to where, you know, when I signed up, they're like, I need to do a video, selfie, you know, give certain types of identification to literally have this new account. So if I have to do that, then it's to where you all know that I'm trying to get into a new account, and I'm clearly telling y'all that my other accounts are like stolen. Like, if y'all see that I'm sitting here emailing y'all, giving y'all proof over and over and over again, and I still can't access my information, that's a problem. And so that's why you have to start reporting this company, okay? And so, you know, I feel like with this type of content I'm making, they're either gonna watch it and it's to where, you know, nothing's gonna happen, or my views might be suppressed to where it's not gonna pull up in the algorithm, or it's to where they might try to like get the video off of here and tell me that it's against terms and services, or it's to where it gets shared. Like, you see what I'm saying? So this is not even a threat to Google, but Google has some problems, yo. Google has a lot of problems, and it's not right that you can have an email account and several of them through Gmail, and you could prove everything that it's yourself, and they still won't help you. And that is definitely a problem. And so I started looking at, you know, companies that actually filed a lawsuit against Google. And I'm like, now I see why they're doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, y'all, that's the end of this Google story. You know what I'm saying? And if I ever get access to my old YouTube channel, I probably would tell my supporters to come to this channel. But at the end of the day, I want to say the reputation I had on my other channel, on this new channel, I don't want people to come over here and basically, you know, talk about my old situation on my channel and why'd you get this? Why'd you take off this video? Why this? Why that? Why'd you talk about that story? Why'd you say this? Why'd you give out this? You see what I'm saying? So this is like a clean plate for me. And, you know, if Google's watching this, I would appreciate if you all just respond to me, you know, a whole nother way, or comment, or, I mean, at this point, I'm willing to tag Google and YouTube on this video. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what happens. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just take a whole nother measure with the whole situation, y'all. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for listening to me. If you have this type of issue, feel free to comment below. It will be great if you can. And so thanks for watching. Bye-bye. And Google, if you're watching this, definitely I'm going to tag this to y'all, and y'all need to just do what y'all got to do to give me back my stuff. Bye.